Hello everybody, welcome back to another election video. This time we're taking a look at the state of Pennsylvania. So I think going forward the Democrats have a big Pennsylvania problem. Because right now, at the rate we're going with the voter registration, Pennsylvania could very well become the next Ohio, which is very bad for the Democrats' chances here. Currently, the party registration numbers from December, we saw the Republicans gain 11,000 voters, while the Democrats lost 2,000 voters. In terms of the Democrat advantage among active party registration voters, Democrats only have a 118,000 voter advantage in the state of Pennsylvania. So if every month is similar to December, their lead's going to be gone in Pennsylvania with active voters. And that's terrible for Democrats because that means they're going to rely even more on independents to win in the state of Pennsylvania. Typically, Republicans turn out more than the Democrats do in the state of Pennsylvania, just as is. So, just going forward, that makes the map a lot harder for the Democrats to win on. And just taking a look at the map of Pennsylvania, we saw a lot of counties shift towards Donald Trump. We saw them flip. A lot of suburban counties like Monroe, Northampton, Bucks. If these counties continually shift towards the Republicans, it's going to be extremely hard for the Democrats to win. They need way better numbers in Philadelphia County to even have a chance. And that county actually shifted a bit more Republican. I think it was like two cycles in a row. It shifted more to the right too. 16 to 20 became redder. 20 to 24 became redder. Overall, Pennsylvania is kind of looking like a mess for Democrats here, and it could very well become the next Ohio at this point with the way things are going. So, looking at that, what are the options for Democrats if Pennsylvania becomes a more red-leaning state similar to Ohio? What are the options here? Because already that gives the Republicans up to 265 electoral votes, while the Democrats are still at 226. So right now, North Carolina has gone red. A lot of, I think, 2012 from 2024, it has gone red. So that's not a state Democrats could really count on. Arizona, it went red by a likely Republican margin in 2024. So that's another state the Democrats really can't count on. So at that point, Democrats are in a bit of a struggle here. So let's say that they come back in Wisconsin. They could win that state. Harris was close to winning that state out of all the 7 swing states. I think they could come back in Michigan if Muslim and Arab voters come back their way as well. So that would get them to 251. Georgia, that the trends there just overall in the Atlanta suburbs. Most of the Atlanta suburbs actually shifted towards the left, even towards Harris here. So Georgia is looking still good for the Democrats going forward, so they could still rely on that state. Nevada, on the other hand, it's also kind of similar with Pennsylvania. It's shifting more towards the right, and I think that's another issue for the Democrats because in party registration numbers, the Republicans are poised to gain the advantage in the next couple months in Nevada. So that's also very bad for the Democrats, and Trump also won it by 3, which is a much bigger margin than he won Pennsylvania. So it really depends on how Latino voters trend from here on out. I do think deportations will probably hurt Republicans with Latino voters because they're going to deport some of their family members that are illegal immigrants. I could think that will definitely hurt Republicans with Latinos. So maybe Nevada could shift back due to that reason. But we're just looking at a map of the trends hold here. That's really tough for the Democrats because let's say Pennsylvania keeps shifting towards the right, Nevada keeps shifting towards the right, Arizona stays as is, North Carolina stays as is. How are the Democrats going to win without Pennsylvania and Nevada? That makes them reliant on winning North Carolina at this point. And North Carolina typically almost always goes Republican narrowly. Their Democrats are always so close there that they just never quite make it. So it puts the Democrats in quite a precarious position here. Makes them really reliant on somehow winning North Carolina. If they get very high black turnout, they could do it. But that's kind of what the situation is evolving towards at this point, especially if PA and Nevada stay on their current track. The Democrats would probably have to win North Carolina to make up for Pennsylvania and Nevada going redder in this election for 2028. So the Democrats are in a pretty tough spot if these registration trends continue on because that puts them very reliant on winning these independent voters, and looks pretty bleak for the Democrats if these trends continue to hold. However, what I've noticed is typically the party out of power a few months after the presidency starts, they eventually start regaining their numbers among party registration in the swing states. So maybe this could turn around for the Democrats still, and maybe not fully over for them. It just looks like they're in a pretty tough spot right now. So yeah, I think Democrats do have a Pennsylvania problem going forward for the 2028 election. I think they should try to fix that, try to be more active in registering voters, especially in the urban areas in Pennsylvania, so they could get higher Democratic turnout. But other than that, that's just my take on what's going on in Pennsylvania and why I think Democrats should really prioritize turning their registration game around. Otherwise, they're probably going to lose in 2028 at this point if they're just not going to try to register more voters in Pennsylvania, because they literally lost voters from December. So that's pretty bad, while the Republicans are still gaining thousands. So that's just my current take for the 2028 election on Pennsylvania. If you're new to this channel, I'd highly recommend subscribing if you enjoy content like this. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.